We're coming off the draw on our home opener, but just kind of some takeaways from that heading into quite a busy week for Gotham FC.
Yeah, I think midweek games are always tough. Everyone's feeling it, especially after a modified preseason for us. And it's been a lot. And I think we're all ready to get things going and build upon this past game and continue to get good results this 3 game week.
The home opener also featured an opportunity for the squad to collect their championship rings and
Mhm.
kind of reflect on what the championship was like overall for the team. What was it like for you on Saturday to kind of get that recognition as part of the squad?
Yeah, I think it was awesome. It was nice to enjoy it together as a team and reminisce on a big year last year and ending on a high and getting to celebrate with everybody once more was really special. The rings are gorgeous and we're happy to have them now.
Where's the ring gonna go?
Depends on how much I really need money. Down payment's coming. No, it's going in my little box with all the other soccer things.
All right, we will open it up. Sean, I see your hand is raised if you'd like to unmute yourself.
So speaking of the rings, do you have both of them on you by any chance? The wedding ring, of course, and the one from the weekend. Let's see them. Very
I
nice.
have just a wedding ring.
Gotcha. So in looking at your past and when you've played in some big programs from college through, and you've played in some big programs overseas that also have a men's side, and of course overseas it tends to be a different culture. How would you identify the different cultures both within the way that the team is and soccer in general between here and the teams that you played over in Europe?
I think soccer is a part of everyone's culture over there. Just the day you're born, you have your team, your family has a team, and they support them nearly blindly because I've seen some crazy Liverpool fans. Um, and that kind of support is infectious, and I think it just like builds an incredible culture in the entire city. I also think the cities are a lot smaller. The country itself is a lot smaller, so it's a lot easier to be recognized as a female or a male player. Whereas here, the US is ginormous and we're very spread out. But with that, you also see huge clubs coming up and building as well. And I think, especially at Gotham, it's nice to be a part of a club that has that kind of culture. And we're continuing to build that kind of culture so that we can become synonymous to more European type clubs.
Sean, do you have another one or?
No, I meant to put the hand down. It went up. Sorry. Thank you,
All
though.
good. All right, we'll go to Melanie.
Hi, Katie, Melanie from The Athletic. Thanks for taking the time. Um, Obviously, like you said, it's a very busy week for Gotham, with so many games back to back. So I'm curious, as a player, are there some things you do to kind of make sure you're maintaining your rest or maintaining your best performance? How do you navigate kind of so many games back to back?
A lot of coffee. I think all of our medical staff does a really good job making sure we get massages right away, making sure we have the cold plunges, the saunas, everything we need to do off the field to recover as quick as possible and be ready to go again. And I think, I mean, just playing for a while, you kind of understand like it's just a grind and you're just gonna have
Mhm.
to push until you get a little break next week and then you can breathe again. But it's more about doing the little things, continuing to do the prehab, the rehab, everything you can control, and then making sure we're keeping the ball as much as possible so we're not doing useless running. And then, stick to the game plan.
Thank you. And I also wanted to ask, as someone who's played in Boston previously, with the Boston Breakers, I'm just curious your perspective of what's it like seeing, Boston Legacy back in that market and kind of having a club back there for the fans.
I think it's awesome. I think my experience in Boston was very memorable. It was with a coach who took a chance on me, and I found soccer again. It was an incredible experience for me, and I really enjoyed playing there. I know we lived way out in Concord and traveled in, played at Harvard, and it's nice to see they're building even more of an infrastructure and helping that club develop because Boston is an incredible town, and I think they have a lot of potential to keep building upon that previous history. And I'm excited to see how they go in the future.
Thank you.
Hmm.
Thanks, Melanie. Sean Hartnett, I see your hand raised.
Hi, Katie. Sean Hartnett, South Ward Central. Obviously, players like yourself, Emily, Jess, Tierna, are expected to push the group with your veteran leadership and know-how. But as you get to the stage of your career, do you also find that the young players are pushing you with their energy and enthusiasm?
Yeah, I think every year the players seem to get younger and younger with their little TikToks, but it's fun to have that kind of renewed energy and everyone feeds upon that. I think they look to us as more of like veteran knowledge of how like the unwritten rules of the league. The other side that isn't necessarily as open. And I think it's a big transition from college or, youth club level to the pros. And I hope us veterans can help bridge that gap and help that transition be even more seamless. And then they can come in with, an eagerness and an excitement to learn. And I think we build a culture around those two meld together.
And just the roster construction that Yale has put together throughout the offseason. Is this one of the deepest squads you've ever been a part of?
Yeah, I think every time I've been here in Gotham, Yael seems to add even more competition and more talent, and it's quite impressive the way she's been able to piece it all together. Our locker room has stayed very strong and connected as well, and I think that is a testament to the characters and the players as people. Because it's one thing to have talent on the field, but you need that cohesiveness to actually put it all together and want the best for each other. So you breed that competitive, but also like you want each other to succeed and do well because we are at the end of the day a team. So she's done very well, and I'm excited to be a part of this group.
I know one question I wanted to throw out there is obviously Denver is a new side, new to the league overall. What's it been like kind of this week as a collective kind of preparing for a little bit of the unknown? Obviously, we've seen some of those players before in this league, but just in general preparing for, a side that we haven't necessarily seen together yet.
Yeah, I think an expansion side and anything in the very beginning of the season is always kind of a crapshoot. You never know what the team's going to be like. Everyone's still trying to find their feet and their identity as a team. And with Denver having nothing to go on, it's very hard to find film, find information about them, and we kind of just piece things together. So yeah, I think they have that advantage of, kind of being the unknown. And then it's upon them to develop their identity. So it's exciting for us to kind of have that, okay, we don't really know who we're playing. It's kind of like when we went in preseason and we didn't really know, we haven't played these teams and these styles. It's fun to challenge ourselves in that respect and play against a team that who knows what they're going to bring at us and how do we adapt and how do we respond to that and play our style.